Welcome back to the channel. This is Tarot 101 with Joan from Nomadic Moon Arts Tarot. This is my secondary channel from my main tarot reading channel, which I hope you will check out. There'll be links and information about me, my bona fides, my history as a tarot reader and author of tarot book down below. So today we're looking at the Justice card, card 11 in the Major Arcana. The Justice card is a very straightforward card. It deals with a very human need, the idea of fairness and justice and things turning out right and karma and all that. And in a world that seems very unfair, the Justice card is here to say that the arc of good is long, but bends ever towards justice. So even things that seem very wicked now will eventually arc towards the good. And that's welcome. There are some very traditional symbols in the Justice card. Usually almost every Justice card has a sword and a scale. Scales of justice, sword of vengeance actually, traditionally, but sword of truth, right? Truth and justice, wisdom and fairness and truth, right? So you'll see it even in cards that are non-traditional. So you see a little teeny scale, a little teeny sword. Stick to your truth and everything will work out. There's often two pillars representing a number of things. Pillars mean a lot in tarot. They're frequently like the doors to Solomon's temple, so they tend to represent wisdom or the idea of love and justice, right? Love and wisdom. Kind of Swedenborgian ideas regarding what's the most fundamental things that humans need to be aware of. It's a beautiful card. It's another gorgeous surrealist card. A big reminder that no matter what's going on in the world, there's, this idea that fairness does actually prevail. And of course, our Housewife Tarot has it also the idea that it does meter out punishment as needed. Okay. So, right. Okay. So, context. If the Justice card shows up in a love spread, it can mean marriage. It can mean a legally binding contract. There's certainly very straightforward interpretations of this card, meaning if you're going to court, you will prevail. It can also mean divorce, depending on the cards around it. Basically, anything to do with the law, when this card shows up, it means it goes well for you, that things are decided in your favor and that things are fair. But again, like Justice of the Peace, getting married, yep. It's not the most romantic of cards, but it certainly is a card that fits within a romance spread. Let's see. If this card shows up with, say, the Death card, that would mean that an absolute ending, something that results in a much better outcome for you. In fact, anytime this card shows up with cards that seem kind of harsh or negative, it's basically saying, yeah, this needed to happen in order for you to either get your shit together and or be moved to a better place for yourself. Okay? So sometimes sometimes the universe will send you a painful extraction. Okay? To get you away from something that you shouldn't continue with. And it'll start off with gentle ideas, maybe you should do this, maybe you shouldn't do this, maybe you should, okay, maybe you really shouldn't do this. And it will, again, take away from you anything that distracts you from where you're supposed to be going, right? If you're supposed to be looking for a better job because there's a job out there that's much better suited to your long-term life goals, it might make the job that you're currently in worse and worse and worse, right? So I know that's kind of an esoteric idea, but this is one of those cards that when it shows up in a spread, it it suggests that this might be happening, that a higher purpose, a higher force might be at work trying to gently guide you in a different direction, a direction that's far more suited and far more karmically aligned for what you need to do to be a decent human being. Ta-dum, ta-dum. And I realize that only the good people in the world give a shit about that. Excuse my language, but I realize that the bad people in the world are perfectly willing to poop all over the checkerboard and kick all the checkers off the board and grab your drink and drink it. And, I mean, like, I get it. I get it. Why are the good people forced to be good? Why are the good people forced to be refined? And the thing I would say to you in that is that, yes, it seems pretty unfair on this plane that a lot of wickedness happens in the world without a seeming punishment. But those are young and stupid souls that will be dealt with in their very own special experience, and that your focus of refinement and honing down and becoming better and better as a person and, really getting to the nitty-gritty of what being a decent human is a much higher goal and a much higher calling than, simple, brutal justice. Does that make sense? I hope it does. That's been your introduction to the Justice card. I hope it was helpful. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'm doing every single card in the deck, and then I'm going to be doing how to put it all together. Spreads and when you can stop using spreads and things like that. So, right, there we are. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.